I got into baseball from my dad. One day, we're sitting downstairs on the couch watching the White Sox play, and he fell asleep on me, and I stayed up. I actually watched the whole 9 innings of the game, and then that's when I knew that I really liked baseball. And then ever since, my dad, he provided his time into me. He saw that I had some good eye coordination, so he just put forward everything into me after that.
I would say he got in baseball around like six years old, like T-ball, just like any dad, just like, hey, here's a wiffle ball, here's a bat, let's see it. And, man, it was like, okay, he has really good hand-eye coordination. So it was like, okay, let's, maybe we'll sign him up for T-ball, and the rest is history.
My dad is who made me who I am now. Honestly, ever since I was a kid, I watched how he treated people, and that's how I want to be like. I want to be like my dad. My dad always tell me, don't be like him, be better. But, if it wasn't for him, I don't know what I would be. I don't think I'd be playing baseball. I don't think I'd be going to the University of Michigan. I don't think I'd be a draft pick or a prospect. He really made me who I am, and, defined me as a person. It's a blessing to have him in my life, and I don't know what I'd do without him.
I was, young father having him. I was, I was 19. I just wanted to be really great at it. I think he gets a lot of his competitiveness from me also, because I wanted to really compete, not to be a typical dad of a guy that maybe just wasn't around, or people would always judge and say, oh man, this dude is typical, he didn't want to help his kid. I think, that bond was kind of at one point in time, it was just me and him. It's an incredible bond. I mean, I think we're pretty good. I mean, that's one of my best friends.
I joined Jackie Robinson West when I was 12 years old. I played with them for a year, and we made a good all-star team. Everybody on that team, we all played together, played against each other. We tried to make a bid to go to the Little League World Series. It was pretty much kind of easy going through it, going through all the regionals and sectionals. We pretty much blew out every team. But at the championship game to go to the Little League World Series, we were down by a couple runs.
Getting to the last game, of course, scary, because one thing in baseball, it's hard to beat a team twice, and they would have had to beat the team that they played in the championship twice. But through dramatic fashion, Trey helped spark that comeback, and one of his other teammates hit a ball that we still will never forget to this day, that ended up ultimately winning that game. So and then now, you win that, and then it's like, oh my God, you're going to the Little League World Series.
Chicago's Jackie Robinson West Little League.
Chicago's Jackie Robinson's West Little League is the first all-black team to make the Little League World Series championship game.
Robinson West in Chicago joining us. We have Marquise and we have Trey. Boys, congratulations.
Honor to introduce the 2014 Little League World Series United States champions, the members of Jackie Robinson West Little League.
When we won the U.S. championship, and we was only, 11, 12 years old, so I didn't really realize how important the game was. When we got back home, that's when it really started to hit me that we had won, and that a lot of people was proud of us. The first thing when we landed, we had fire trucks spraying water over our plane, and Midway actually cleared out the whole airport for us. And I just remember walking through the airport and everybody's just clapping. And then it just kind of hit me with that what we had did was like really special.
We got on a plane, came back, coming to Chicago, and pretty much everybody from Chicago was there to cheer us on while we got on the coach bus. And I mean, it was amazing.
You win a national championship, who would ever thought, some kids from Chicago, an inner city group would be able to make a run at such a, prestigious, event. And I mean, it just brought so many things. I mean, from, meeting the presidents to, talk shows.
I had school that day. My dad called me the day before and told me that it's a lot of problems.
13 kids won our hearts last summer as they battled their way to the national championship of Little League Baseball. But today, their title was taken away because adults broke the rules.
Look up the next day in the morning, it's all over ESPN saying that we got our title revoked, and we didn't even know. They put it on there, and it was it was a messed up situation.
The first thing I felt was anger, because I was chilling in my room one morning when I saw it on the news. I didn't really know that they were even investigating it. And then I just felt like it was unfair.
I was hurt. It hurt me as a 12-year-old kid having to face grown people and people on social media calling me a cheater. And I feel like I was like LeBron James. Like LeBron James gets slandered every day. He's on the court and on social media. So, having to deal with that as a 12-year-old kid, it was tough, but mentally it made me better.
Still today, people will look at them as, still like, rock stars. I mean, we can go places and people will be like, oh, yeah, I remember that kid. That's the kid to talk to girls before games. Or that's the kid that had the American flag on his sleeve. And it was like, wow, what they did, people will never forget, no matter they take it away or what happened, with the bad news of them taking stuff, but they'll never forget, what the world saw it.
Trey's a young man who's been in the spotlight, and I think that takes, a lot of courage on his behalf. He's always the guy that everyone looks towards, a guy that's almost like the quarterback of your team. I think he's handled that pressure really, really well, and I think that says a lot about him and his future. He's a guy that's going to be a leader, in the business world or whatever he chooses to do, because of how well he handles adversity and how well he handles the spotlight, and he handles it with grace and he handles it with class, because Trey is class.
Trey is dedicated. Trey is committed. Trey is humble.
Trey Hondras is a competitor.
Trey's a leader.
Trey is committed. Trey is dedicated.
Trey Hondras is a leader.
Trey is a great teammate.
Trey's dedicated.
Trey Hondras is hardworking.
Trey is a hard worker.
Trey is very hardworking.
Trey is hardworking. Trey is hardworking.
Trey is hardworking. He's one of the hardest workers we've had here at HF. I mean, he first guy on the field, last guy to leave the field. He's a young man that works hard in the offseason, works hard on his body.
Man, his work ethic is crazy. I see him all the time lifting up at Ho-Chunk with Griff all the time. And I've got to play with him for so long, and just to see, I've seen what he's capable of. I've been with him for so long. I see him at his highest, I see him at his lowest, and I really do. I truly think the future's bright for him. I think he could play in the big leagues one day, because he got the work ethic, he got the skill set, he got the swagger to it.
Trey is a very talented player, and his talents and hard work and dedication can take him real far, regardless of if his teammates are playing well or complaining and making errors or anything. He always has the same mentality and hard work and drive and trying to win.
High energy guy, smiling, always gonna have fun, but he's gonna run through the wall when the game's on the line. He's gonna go through the wall. He's gonna climb the fence to catch the ball. When the game's on the line, he wants to be in the batter's box ready to hit. And I think those things were some of the things that University of Michigan loved about him, was every time they saw him play, he was a high energy type of guy, man. We call it guy with his hair on fire.
I ended up at Michigan because they watched me ever since I was in 8th grade till my junior year, and they wanted to see my progression to see if I progressed every year or if I, was better or got stronger or faster, and they saw that I did that, and they gave me an offer.
When he leaves, whether or not it's college or playing pro ball, it'll be different because the everyday, he's stopping by or coming here to visit or borrow money or or oh my God, my car needs gas or whatever, or just anything. It's a different. Well, house will be a little bit more quieter, but it sits on my mind and wondering, how is it really gonna be?
It's gonna be tough next year without Trey because we work hard together, laugh and play all the time, play video games. So it's gonna be tough without him because he ain't gonna be here, so it's just gonna be hard. Trey influences me how I play baseball because he works hard every day, and I want to work hard every day too. So I try to just go outside, hit in the cages whenever he's out there. We both flip toss to each other, hit on the tee with each other, just do the simple stuff.
Being the older, out of, this group, he has a huge influence even on my oldest daughter. She plays the game and she's, making waves herself and making a run that, girls can play baseball also. And I think he's a huge part of that situation because she thinks the world of him and she just loves him for who he is.
Bro.